Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Joanna, and on this channel I talk about eco-minimalism, happiness and productivity. So if you want to stick around, make sure to subscribe to my channel so you never miss a video. Now let's get into this week's video. As you probably read the title, it's about how to live in the age of technology. It's not about being extremist or about not having anything electronic. That's definitely not true, because probably you're watching this video on your phone or somewhere, and I also have to upload it somehow. So yeah, don't be really the thing, right? The one thing that really makes me thinking is that it's so natural for all of us to have our phone everywhere. Like everywhere we go, we have our phone with us. Mostly maybe it's because we are afraid to miss something, or we are afraid that we are not gonna be reachable, you know. But missing something is not always a bad thing, and yeah, if you want to know more about that, I've did a video about this as well, so you can check it up here. Through that thing that we always are reachable and we are always on the phone or have it like right beside us, we don't really know how to be alone. And this is not to be mistaken with being lonely. This is not the same thing, but being alone is not something bad in that sense. And this is called solitude deprivation, as it's been named by Cal Newport. I would really recommend read this book. It's really interesting. So some of the things are also based on these books and my own experience. But generally, if you want to know more about this topic, it's a really good book about this. So as I said, we are really reachable all the time, and yeah, we have constant low quality leisure at our fingertips. It's only about switching on the device and clicking an app. So in this video, I really want to get into some things that you can do and what I think are really important points to how to get, how to use the things, the technology, how to use the things that we have all the time, but still be, in a sense, a minimalist. I've divided this video in 3 parts. So the first part is more about how do you reduce the use. The second one is how to use your free time for more productive and high quality activities. And the third one is about receiving information and learning how to filter them and sort out the waste. So let's get into the first part. As mentioned in the introduction, we are really not able anymore, or most of us are not really able anymore, to be alone. And maybe a good thing to fight this kind of feeling that we always have to be connected to someone, to write on a chat, to be linked with other people, is to take your time on your own and be alone in a way that you're not doing something specific, with maybe taking a walk or just enjoying nature, for example. Do something that is not connected to technology, for example. Like, I don't mean like watching Netflix. You can watch Netflix on your own, but this is not what I mean, because there's still some kind of information that is coming into you, going into your brain. But when you're doing some things that are really like off grid in that sense, and just really somewhere that nobody can reach you, or that you are not able to go somewhere that is full of information. Another thing that you can really do is to try not to look at your phone in the morning. Like, I know from many people that first thing they really do after waking up is checking their phone. But this is something that I really stopped doing a long time ago, because I just realized this is not something that brings me, it doesn't bring me joy, it doesn't bring motivation, it doesn't really help me to go on with my day. So why I'm doing this? And mostly it comes from looking at other people's feeds and photos and things that they bombard you with messages. Maybe they don't really have the motivation to start your day, and your productivity and your motivation just like really low. So this is something that I've really been trying doing, and whenever it's possible, I don't switch on my Wi-Fi until noon, or at least until breakfast. So I have really the time to wake up and, think about more important things than checking the phone. And of course, there are situations that you have to check your phone because something like important information might be there in the morning. But generally, I really try to do that. And in general, I have my flight mode over the night at all times. I do this every single time, because it's really better for yourself when you don't know that there are always messages coming in and it's also more healthy because of the radiation. Maybe sometimes it might be a bad thing, but I think when I'm trying to sleep and I want to have my peace at night, this is a really good method to just really get rid of all the information that's coming in. Another really nice thing is to have the screen time on your phone. This is something that I know it's on the iPhone, but I'm not sure if this is something that on the Android is as well. So if you know that, you can maybe comment in the section below so I know more about Android phones. And generally, this is something that can really help, that you have this no disturb mode in your phone, so you can schedule it at, for example, 9 p.m. and after that you will not see any notifications. And this was something that helped me a lot, not checking the phone and just leave it somewhere and almost forget about it. Similar thing you can really do also during the day when you know you have to work at something. Then scheduling times when people should not disturb you is a really good thing when you're knowing that very often you are getting distracted by the phone and you cannot really work, but maybe you need to check, maybe you need to check messages, you need to check emails, but then scheduling these times for like really small batches and blocks over the day and the other time just using for productivity and not being in that situation that when you're working and being constantly disturbed by your phone buzzing. Another idea is to tell people specifically when your times for phone calls are. For example, you know that every time I'm going to be on my public transport from 6 to 6:30, so I know that I can tell everyone you can call me then because I have nothing else to do and I can use this time to talk about something. And I think this is a really nice thing. I didn't really try this one because I'm not really like a phone talker or something, and this is not something that people do, like, I think. But sometimes it's really just like very nice because sometimes you just really feel that you're disturbing the other people, and this is like there are reasons for that because you probably are, and just telling people when you are reachable is a good thing when you know that you don't want to be disturbed during the day. Another really nice thing, you can mostly on the iPhone, I know that you can use this offload function when apps are being offloaded, when you don't use them enough. And then you can really ask yourself the question like, do I really need this app? Like, it has been offloaded because I haven't used it maybe for a month, so this probably means that it's not really necessary for me to have it on my phone. And another nice thing that you can try is to delete the social media things that you think you could like without. Maybe it's not the main source of information where maybe with friends or where you study, but the other things you can try to delete them. And ask yourself the question, what is actually the value of this app? Is it really something that I really need? And maybe you will get to this conclusion that you don't need it, or maybe you do. But I think this could be a really nice experiment as well. I haven't really tried it myself yet, but maybe I will do that in that time. So now let's go to the second part and talk about how to use your free time for productive and high quality activities. The one thing that I really like to do is use my time of commuting to do something productive, like reading a book or studying, listening to music while studying, to be concentrated. For example, if you're driving a car and you can't really do something active, you can also still listen to a podcast with a nice content. When you're doing breaks while, for example, studying or after work, many people the first thing that I do just like watching Netflix. Like, this is something, like, maybe not everyone, but this is something that I've done quite a lot as well. And just know that this is maybe not the best thing to do after, for example, studying, because it's not really good for learning retention, because you're like overriding your information, what you've learned with what you see. And also, like, watching television on Netflix is not really a high quality leisure, especially before bed, because the blue light emission is not really good for our good night's sleep. So instead of that, it's really good to prioritize demanding, and I would also say productive activity you like to do in your free time over like passive consumption like this, like watching something or scrolling through social media, or I don't know, doing things like that are related to technology, because many times you just forget the time when you're like scrolling through different news, and then you just end up half an hour later and 20 different pages later, or when you're on Netflix and you wanted to watch one episode but you're ending up watching the whole season. So who doesn't know that? And this is like something that should be in like less priority than things that are demanding. Newport here proposes that instead of shallowness on the internet, you should do something that is physical and that is analog. It's not something that has to do with technology, with laptops, with phones, things like that. But instead of, I don't know, for example, what I like to do is take care of my plants, propagate them, or doing like DIY projects like this thing I did. Yeah, I'm really proud of this. Like, these are really nice DIY projects, and you can also say you're proud of them. This is also what Newport is taking us out. It is so important to have really like a connection to the real world, but also like social interactions and joining sports groups or projects or group projects or interest clubs. So this is something, I think, a very nice thing, that when you're in a group of people that have the same interests, most of the time you just really forget about all the internet thing, you forget about all the social media. You're just really there and you're with the people and you're doing something that you like with other people that like this thing as well. So I think this is really nice, and I've also experienced that quite a lot, like trying to be in a place, and then if you are in this place already, then you will just forget about all the scrolling and all the reading of breaking news. Another useful thing that I also do is scheduling my time for social media, because I still like post and things like that. Scheduling the things for your low quality leisure, like checking social media or writing someone back. You can really do that in a specific time period of your day. For example, I like to do that when I'm on a bus. Maybe it's like 15 minutes bus ride, so I know I have only this 15 minutes to do that, and after that I'm not doing this anymore. Or when you're waiting in a line for pizza or something. These are really useful things, because these are like times that have an end. It's not something that you're coming back from work or from studies and you're just sitting on your bed and scrolling for social media, because you don't really have like a time period, like you don't have something that is saying, okay, stop. Because if you do something that has an end, it's much more easier to also stop with doing that and not end up being on there like for 2 hours. And also on the other side, it's about scheduling your leisure time that is high quality into your weekly plan, and saying, like, writing down your things when you're doing, for example, your DIY project, where you do gardening, where do you play an instrument, and then you see that physically, and then you know that this is the time I will take to do that, to improve a skill, to get better at something, to be with other people. And there's also much less of a danger of using social media, because you have your days planned, so there's not really time for you to just be bored and be on the phone. If you want to check my video about time management, I will link it up here. I think it's really useful to plan out your whole life, because these two things have so much correlation. Being productive and planning your time, this is like the most important thing, and it has a lot to do with how we use social media. But even though we maybe like to schedule everything, have a whole day plan, we still will be on social media. This is something that everyone does, and I'm also doing that. The last part is probably the most important, because probably no one is able to abstain completely from social media, let's be honest. But here are some tips that I really implement as well in my life to be mindful of how I use social media and be mindful what I get from them. And the first thing is that I only follow people that I'm really interested in, that are my friends, or that are people that inspire me in my professional or my hobbyist life. So they're really just the people, and I don't like to follow people that are just putting out trash. There's something really important to just only deliberately follow people that you find some value in what they do, and not following everyone that is possible just because. Something similar can also be applied to reading or watching news, and it can also help to pick out specific channels where you want to get the information from. Like, I'm only following on Instagram one news agent from Switzerland, and I know their yeah, I know the content is good and it's short and it's really good, but it's not like a breaking news and just doing drama and all of thing. But I know that the information is good, and yeah, it keeps me informed just a little bit that I want to be. And of course, you can do like several things. You can follow several websites, but it's also not about being the person that reads every single thing, every breaking news, every drama, because this will consume so much time of us. And yeah, being a digital minimalist is really about knowing what you want to consume and yeah, filter out the rest. Another really important thing is to unsubscribe to all the newsletters that you get into your inbox but you never look at, or try to sell something but you don't really want to do that. So unsubscribing to these newsletters is really going to declutter your whole inbox, but also you will not get the constant information about things that you don't really need, and also try to clutter your mind and try to sell your products that you probably don't even need. So the two last points of this video are the most important thing. And the first thing is the importance of shifting your view, your perspective on social media, or how you use social media. Because you can ask yourself, is it because I want to consume animal videos and memes, or is it something that I want to use for my information, to get inspired for my own life, or maybe do I want to connect with other people that are like-minded, that are studying the same thing, or that have the same work field? So I think this is a really important question to ask yourself, and for me it's definitely the second one, that I want to get something good out of using social media. It doesn't really matter what kind of social media it is. The goal here is to not let the social media, use you, but you should use it. So this is I think my motto of this video. Don't let it use you, use it for you. But yeah, let's get on with the last point here, which is really, really important as well. The most important thing that applies actually to every single part of this video is that you want to find out what is the good information you want to get from each platform. Yeah, what you get from this, and is this something that helps you with your life, with your whatever, and also filter out the waste that you don't need in your life, and it's just cluttering your mind and making you addictive to these platforms, because that's what you wanted to do. So thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you find some value in it. I think this is one of my most important topics in my life that I pursue all the time. And if you like this video, make sure to like it and subscribe to my channel if you want to know more, and hit the notification button to know when a new video comes out. So yeah, I hope I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.